Hello everybody, and welcome to what is very likely the final stream of Joe's in the Sky 2nd chapter. I know that last time you guys said that the stream might be a little bit on the shorter side, but for some reason, I recall you guys telling me this at the end of the first game, and I think the finale ended up lasting like 3 hours or so of epilogue. So we might get a similar situation here. Who knows? Regardless though, last we left off, Estelle and Joshua got separated from the group, and we're gonna have to find a alternate route in order to escape the city in the sky. Hopefully we survive? Imagine if we all died. Pretty short? I guess we'll see how it goes. Also, hello Wasabi. Hello to anybody in chat, anybody lurking, and anybody watching the VOD. Let's get right into it. Right, we out! Do I need to take a look at any of my equipment at all? I think we should be equipped with the best things that we possibly can be. We did use a ton of items during the final boss fight, but I don't think it should be much more difficult. And honestly, do I even need to fight anything? If there are any mobs around here? I gotta head over to... yeah, just the other side here, right? This one, right? Access bill to Kalmar, directly to the ship. Yep. Any obstructions to the city is a crime. Ooh, why are these tunnels red? It's almost like all the monsters here sensed that the city was collapsing and then they just noped out of reality. Considering that some of them were born in another dimension, they probably have some sort of ability to do that right. Are we there yet? I find it intriguing that we've run into no obstacles here. You would assume that wouldn't be the case. Oh! What? Oh no! Damn it! If only Zero hadn't waited an entire week before playing this, we might have made it in time. Ah! Let's go back, Estelle. I think it might be over for us. Well, so much for going back, I guess. Is Joe's in the Sky one of those JRPGs where the main characters die at the end? Yeah. This column won't support us for long. Which means we're... Estelle, I'm so sorry. If I hadn't tripped back there... No, you don't need to say it. You bailed me out when I was about to be buried under that rubble anyway. We're both screw-ups. But... you know, it's really funny. Despite how completely screwed we are, I'm not actually scared. Are you, Joshua? Nah, you're right. I'm not scared at all. I'm sure falling from this height, straight into the lake, we should be fine, right? That's how physics work. Hey, Joshua. Can I ask 2 favors here at the end? Always. So, first, would you hold on to me, like, tightly? Estelle's like, Joshua, I don't want to die a virgin! Oh god! Right now, Estelle? No, now's not the time! No, it's gonna be way more wholesome. Didn't we already have a scene like this, though? I think that was when we were escaping the ship from Ouroboros? Of us, like, falling to the sky? We'll probably have something similar here. Of course I will. There should be a second in there somewhere, I think. Oh, so, even at, you know, the end of, things here, I don't want to be too pushy. I don't want to have any regrets and crap. How do I put this? Don't worry, I can say the rest. Estelle, may I kiss you? Ah! Yes, yes! Always ask for consent. It's been a while since we've seen one of these. Animated. And so much for our escape. Damn, this is actually some pretty good destruction animation. I wonder how they would do this. I'm assuming it's just like a 3D model that they rendered the physics for. Yeah, exactly, Wasabi. It's really nice animation for its time. Or who knows, maybe they updated it. Are they gonna be able to somehow catch us? Would they even be able to find where we are? That might be a little too optimistic. Kyle, please! If we just leave them, Joshua will... No, Josette. We wouldn't make it in time either way. No. No. Damn it all. At the very end, too! What is the goddess doing at a time like this? The goddess? Wait. What if we see Aidios? Are we gonna actually? We did defeat basically a god, so what if Aidios manifests right here and somehow saves us and it's a miracle? It can't. We didn't make it in time. No freaking way. No. No. No! Julia, please. It looks like the escape tunnels lead to the northwestern edge of the island. Take the Arcel there at once. Forgive me, Your Highness. Even on your orders, I cannot do that. The Arcel doesn't have full engine power back. If we get close to the city, especially under it, we cannot escape the island's collapse. Is that about right, Professor? You're right. No, 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 no. No! Oh, how terrible. It feels like I should say something, but... what do you say to such a thing? There are no words, I think. Those two... Damn it! They were just getting started. Now they're done. Oh, Estelle... Joshua... Huh? Of course it's Dorothy that notices something off. Come on, Dorothy. Try and show a little decorum at a time like this.
But, I just noticed that Sieg is flying around looking awfully happy.
Huh? Oh. How do you tell that the bird is looking happy? What's going on here? Is he gonna somehow catch us? I don't think the logistics would work. Wait, yeah! Dragon! Yeah! I forgot about Dragon. Also Dad. Whoa, Ragnar! Why are you here? And what in the heck are you doing here, Dad? Well, you did restore power to the entire country and avert a war. I shut the details off on Morgan and decided to ask an old friend for a ride. An old friend. Uh-huh. Admit it, Dad, he just wanted to surprise us. And it's a pleasure to meet you, Ragnar. Estelle told me about you. Thank you for saving our lives. Thou needst not thank me, child of man. A new wind swirls about us. I simply spread my wings and sailed upon that fresh current. Still, though, you really saved us. But hang on a second. I thought, Adios herself told you to only watch over people. Won't you get in trouble for saving us? The charge given me was to watch over men until an answer, a true answer, was given unto the Shining Ring. And such an answer has now been offered up. The ancient contract stands fulfilled. Thus, upon hearing the Divine Blade's plea for a boon, I myself answered in kind. The ancient contract? Another little mystery. But I can let it slide, I guess. They're setting up for so many things that you could possibly explore in future expansions. So, one second, let me lower the volume a little bit. Oop, there we go. Apologies. Still under the weather. The casual shoulder shrug from Cassius. I haven't the foggiest what he's going on about either. After all, Hardhead here seems to enjoy holding back the details. Forgive me, friends. We of the Wing and Scale possess our own laws and statuses. So it is I say unto you, know that the gears of fate have finally begun their inexorable churn. And in their ponderous cycling, no force can stop them. The quest is done, but the campaign yet lies before thee. Gird thyself with wisdom, you who hear me now. I see. Wait, no way! Is Liberal going to be attacked again? No, those battles are destined to be fought elsewhere, and by different people. Yeah, there you go, just straight up foreshadowing. Look, they're going to fight, but it ain't gonna be our war. But somehow it's all going to tie in together into the bigger picture. The fate of the universe, as it were. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, if it were. But those are concerns for another time. Yeah, when the legit Weebs finally get to those games 2 years from now. You two have worked a genuine miracle today. Don't worry about what's to come for now. You've earned your best. Alongside your irreplaceable friends, who, I think, will be very happy to see you alive. Yeah. Oh. Chels has been good with the copyright so far. I'm gonna trust you. And if this moment is muted, then it is what it is. Hey, we're alive! We're riding a dragon! Oh! Wait! What? Are you kidding me? Literally? I just had to play a few more minutes? Ah, god damn it. I thought there was gonna be a whole dungeon to escape, and then this whole setup for another plot line. Oh no! Oh man. I thought we were gonna do something like the first game where we went and talked to everybody again. I guess not. Well, I guess that's the unfortunate part of playing this blind. I guess we could spend like another 1 hour and 40 minutes talking about the game. Oh no. I fucked up real bad. But okay, when it comes to Trails of the Sky, honestly the second game improved upon almost everything. Actually, I say almost everything, probably everything. I don't think there was really anything that I thought regressed in this game. The combat system, it was the same, mechanically speaking, but we expanded upon it a lot, which makes sense because our characters also progressed within the story. We got a lot more cool abilities to use, and a lot of really cool characters that we had in the first game that we couldn't play, that now became playable, and it was really fun when, like, all the side characters, too, hopped in. And we got to control people like Julia and Vander, as well as the pirate girl, too. Josette. Physical does better damage? It's been a while since we played the first one. But yeah, I think just basic attacks and physical attacks were just more potent in this game, which made some of the EP grind a lot easier. How long before Zero switches to Rivals? You think I'm gonna play Rivals now during this stream? Gosh darn it. Man. Maybe I should spoil myself a little bit sometimes, just to see like how long it's gonna take to get to the end of the game. That way we won't have a situation like this again. When it comes to the story, I think a lot of the story here was a lot more impactful than in the first one, simply because the first one was pretty much a setup for this game. And you kinda need that background in order for this to hit. So I feel like when it comes to the story, you'd have to judge both of them at the same time. This game would not be as good without the first one. But where do we go from here? This feels like such a happy ending. A send-off for this particular group. But we have a third game. I guess there's still the whole mystery with Kevin and his church and what they're doing. Which I think the third game might end up focusing on them, considering that they're on the splash art. I should have watched another movie. Our computer system is now at work. I've been doing nothing all morning. RIP. Rest in peace, Argoth. Next game's stream lengths are gonna be funny. Wait. What do you mean? God, why do I don't want you to spoil me on it because I want to go into it blind, but like it makes it impossible to plan out anything. Gosh darn it. And is this really the end of Weissman? We did see him turn into salt. And what was the whole arrow thing that Kevin shot at Weissman? Turned him into salt. This whole disaster happened a long time ago because of that artifact, but Kevin just casually had it to shoot Weissman? Who is Kevin? There's still so many questions. In a way, I feel in a similar way as to what I was feeling when I finished the first game. Being like, oh, there's so many open threads left to answer. And I have a pretty good feeling that every Trails in the Sky game, by the end of them, I'll still be feeling the exact same way, with a lot more questions than answers. But still, they managed to have a pretty good ending to them, like a conclusive ending that I feel satisfied with, despite still leaving it much more open-ended. They definitely had to have planned all this out before making any of the games. One of the Anguis? Yeah. He's only one of them, and he's serving an even greater master or whatever he was talking about. Karen, I'm back. Here, this is from Lo. It's so good to see that smile, Joshua. Wait, I recognize the scenery. Weren't we here at the very beginning of the game? When we cut to seeing where Joshua was and what he was doing? When he was hanging out with the Sky Pirates or whatever? It's been too long, but this is familiar. Or maybe you saw another flashback, I don't know. I bet Lo likes it too. Yes, with the Kapuas? Okay. I didn't just make that up then. Good. The church has funny weapons like that. When you learn about the Arrow of Salt, you'll realize how effed up it was to use that on Weissman. Oh. You'll love to see it when you get extra information later on that improves the context of things that happened before. Yeah. Lo and Karen were as close as I've ever known two people to be. They wanted to be together forever, I think. And now they are. No. Ideally, they want to be together in life, but it's unfortunate how things shaked out. Hey, can I say hi to Karen too? Of course. Hi Karen. Nice to meet you. I'm Estelle. Estelle Bright. Well, for a little while, I was sort of trying to be his replacement sister without knowing it, but I couldn't really replace you. I guess now I'm, his girlfriend. Oh, well. Yeah. You know, it's a JRPG. You guess? That's terrible. Okay. Sorry, still not really used to it. It's kinda, you know, embarrassing. Oh, for the... It's still so very you, Estelle. So very what? Do I detect an entendre buster? What does entendre mean? I remember knowing the definition for it. Unfortunately, I don't remember the exact definition. I just know I used to know this word. You know, when nobody else is around, you can sure be... sorry. I was in the middle of saying hello, wasn't I? So... I wanted to say hello, and come with Joshua to see his original home. I'm looking forward to what's to come for the two of us. Thank you, Estelle. I'm sure Karen is very happy. I hope so. I know I'm still sort of a dunce, and not the most reliable person ever. I have to admit I'm a bit worried what I'd do if she ever thought, "You're not good enough to be Joshua's girlfriend, Estelle, right? Shoo!" Well, we don't personally know Karen, so I don't know how she'd react to this, but I don't think she'd ever say something like that. Yo, what's up, Steve? Welcome.
I think she'd just be happy. The fact that Joshua got to know somebody.
I think you're overthinking it a bit. If anything, I think Karen would have loved you. You two would have been a nice contrast in terms of personality. You think so? And there goes my entendre radar again, mister.
So you're saying I'm not as strong deep down or as calm and quiet as your sister, right?
No. I really do think you're strong deep down, actually. Calm and quiet. Well, not exactly like Karen, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm not complaining. Always bright, optimistic, and shining like the sun. That's the girl I fell in love with.
Ah! What was that? You know how to go for the jugular with the embarrassment, you know?
Sorry, did you not like it?
Of course I liked it. That is so not the issue here.
I don't quite get the problem, I guess.
Okay. You said our hellos, so let's be off. I can see Karen rolling her eyes at us from the cloud tops.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yo, what's up, Lorenzo?
Oh, exactly, Argoth. 100%. If this was P4, she would be a tomato. The blushes in P4 are unlike anything I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
What is it?
Are you really sure about this? You really want to leave Liberal and follow me?
Wait, where are we going? Oh!
My journey to atone for the sins I committed in the Society's name is my problem. So is my desire to strengthen myself and live up to Lo. I'm still not sure if I want to wrap you up in all this.
Considering that the other games are likely to be set in the other countries surrounding Liberal, we might get to hear of, like, Joshua and Estelle's travels. It really depends how the timeline is going to work out here. I don't know if Trails in the Sky is told chronologically, although I do know that this is where, you know, you should start. So maybe it is. Maybe some of the stories run perpendicular with each other, but we'll probably hear about them doing things and stuff like that.
Yo, what's up, Dickerlin?
Hope you enjoyed. It's impossible not to enjoy Trails in the Sky.
This game is good.
Lo is Louvet.
Is that right? Louvet?
I feel like it was one of those names where you did tell me how to pronounce it before, and then I forgot, and then we just stuck with Lo.
What was his name again?
Agate?
Oh man, I still want to call him Agate sometimes. It's German? All these European words, man. I have no idea how to pronounce any of them.
4 games run parallel to each other? God damn!
That'll be cool to see how they intersect in their stories.
We waited until he was dead to let you know?
Well, at least now you can't hear me mispronounce his name anymore. Or maybe he does. Even better.
Oh, for the love of... You always miss the important part. Ragnar said it, didn't he? This whole mess was just the beginning. Besides, I seriously doubt the Society's plans are all played out.
And about Ouroboros?
There are so many more people within that organization, apart from Weissman and his group. And Campanella was kind of sent here just to observe. So he is probably potentially working for another one of the Anguis, or maybe even directly with the higher up. So this means this secret society is basically the Illuminati, and they have people everywhere. We just don't know about it, and haven't been able to uproot any of them until now, then when they started playing their hand after having all these resources prepared. So, like, what shit is going down in the other countries? I don't know how well the other countries' bracer associations are doing, or, like, what their internal situation is. Because, well, it's obvious that they're not going to let that be known to other countries, but now it really makes you wonder about all the gears that are turning in the background, and things that we might have already seen here or have been mentioned here that are going to be like the main plot point of another game, potentially. Heck, maybe even the book that we, unfortunately, didn't get the first one of, might have been foreshadowing something that happens later. Ouroboros is going to be a fun part of the series for a long time to come. Damn. Captain L answers directly to the Grand Master. He is always doing a little bit of trolling. Well, there you go. With a name like Campanella, you can't just be like a regular character. Is Sky SC in your top 10 now? I would prefer this over the first game. I don't know if top 10. There are some really good games in my top 10. If I ever do like another tier list, I have to think about it. Which honestly, I think I'll save it near the end of 2025. We could talk about it again later. I think Organization 13, but with more forethought and half of them don't die. Yeah. Oh man. Organization 13. What a group. Ouroboros is actually quite menacing, considering this was only like one small section of their society, and they were able to literally bring a entity from a different plane, a different dimension, back into our reality and completely shut down our main power source. That's kind of insane. How do we raise the stakes from here in the other games? Be grateful you won't have to solve Blue Blanc's riddles next game. Thank goodness. There's probably gonna be another Phantom Thief or some shit later, though. Like, I'm not gonna count this sort of trope out. And when those snakes strike from the grass again, I want to be even stronger than Dad. You're not the only one who has someone to live up to. Estelle's got quite big shoes to fill. Stronger than Cassius. That's a tall order. But the Blue Blanc riddles were so fun, yeah? I suppose it's a matter of perspective. Some of them were fun. A few of them were a bit frustrating, but that was more a skill issue on my part. Ouroboros can bring a country to their knees easy? Yeah, 100%. But that also makes me wonder why they haven't done anything yet up until now. Was it simply just because they were biding their time and collecting resources, and they only felt that now is a good time to do this? Like, how far back do their plans go, and how far forward are they thinking? Is it possible that Weissman failing here was even a part of their plan? And that's why they sent Campanella here to observe, and just to not directly help? Because he totally could have, but he decided not to, because maybe it wasn't all that important to the overall plan that they have. Heck, maybe even everything that happened here was just a distraction for something else that is happening. Well, go big or go home, right? Plus, I made that promise to Louvet. And I really want to see more places beyond Liberal. I'd also like to try and find Ren if we can. Yep, I saw Argoth mention that earlier. Ren is out there somewhere a little girl who finally got hugged, and she doesn't really know what she's doing anymore. Hopefully she doesn't go around murdering people, and it would be really cool if in a future game we got Ren as like a playable character, and she was like part of the main cast in that particular game. Maybe in a different country after she tries to seek some sort of redemption from the things that she's done or the past that she's gone through. We'll have to see. But we're not gonna forget about Ren. The only person that we will forget about is Father Kevin, apparently, but at least not for the third game. And Estelle? And come on, Joshua. Do I really need a reason to be with you? Oh. No. Of course not. You're all the reason you need, all by yourself. Exactly. See, Joshua? What would you do if I wasn't around to point things out to you? You're right. I'd be doomed. Doomed, I say. Doomed! Aw. Joshua has no cheeks. Bro's gotta do some squats. Let's go, Estelle. I have no idea where this path will lead us, but I'm sure something awaits us at the end. Yeah! One step at a time, we'll walk it together to the end. Trails in the Sky, 2nd chapter. Finished. This is indeed the end, Lorenzo. I miscalculated. That's what happens when you play a game blind. I thought this was gonna be much longer than it was. I like the animation too, and the art style. It's really a vibe. It does date the animation and art, but it's charming in its own way. Kind of like how Persona 4 Golden has its own vibe. You know, it doesn't have the greatest graphics out there, but it's just so cute. He needs to be aerodynamic to fight as fast as he does, exactly. You gotta get rid of all that bakery in the back there. Can't be lugging around a dump truck. Congratulations on beating Trails in the Sky SC. If you save your clear data and load it from the title screen, you can play through the game again with all data carried forward. And this time, maybe don't forget about the book. Dumbass. Alright. Yep, I have saved the clear data. Really? Man. Oh, man! But, like, the ending to this game makes me think that we're just not gonna interact with Joshua and Estelle anymore. We're just gonna completely move on to a new cast now. Ah, that sucks! It's like moving from part 2 JoJo's to part 3. Well, actually, no, it wasn't that bad. I'm not gonna say why, but... What if we never see them? I'm sure we will, but, like, how long is it gonna take? I guess the longer we wait for them to reappear in the series, the bigger my reaction to that will be, so, hey. I guess it works out. Sky the third time? Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably play Sky the Third. I have not been spoiled on what the gameplay is, but some of you guys in the Discord have been talking about how it's like not the greatest in terms of gameplay. I think a few of you even straight up skipped it and just like read lore regarding that game. I'm not sure how it goes exactly. I'm not telling? Yeah. I'll just suffer by going into it blind and it'll be what it is. I do miss them already. I mean, when did I start Trails in the Sky? This series is basically a part of this channel. Like, have we been doing this for a year now? Maybe even over a year by now? These characters, I know them. They're my little babies. I want to see them grow and be happy. But now I don't think I'll be able to see them anymore. Because we're just gonna move on to new people. Lots of dialogue. Oh, actually, lots of dialogue I prefer. I like the combat, but yeah, dialogue is sort of where I enjoy the game the most. The depth of the story makes him feel so real. Exactly. It wouldn't have hit me so hard otherwise during that scene where we were in the dreamscape and we saw Estelle's mother and their interactions with each other. Man, I cried like a bitch. But the reason why I did was because how good the story was leading up to that. How much it made sense. I knew exactly what was going on. I saw that coming, and I just couldn't stop the tears, man. I couldn't stop. What do you mean, new people? It's Kevin? Well, Kevin and some other girl, I think, was on the splash art. I don't know her. She's probably somebody from the church, too, considering her clothing, but that's all I know about the third game. 2 years now? Maybe. We did originally start the first Trails in the Sky as a Patreon exclusive, and then we moved it to the channel, so it might have been that long. It's been a while since I've done like Patreon only streams. We kind of discontinued that a few months, almost maybe a year ago by now. I don't know. Thank you, Arthur. I will gladly accept it and keep it in my Steam library, I guess. Keeping in mind, I know nothing about future games. I saw 3D models of Estelle and Joshua before the remake was announced, so they must at least be referenced at some point. That, I'm not surprised by. The thing with Trails in the Sky is definitely going to be references to this first game. Way, way down the line of some things that haven't made sense to us yet, and will make a whole lot of sense to us in the future. Heck, even the mural that was described in the first book from the first game that we read is probably going to show up at some point in a future game. Like, we're just going to walk past him and be like, wait a minute, why do I recognize that? Oh, it's because we're at the actual train station that they talked about. Like, they gotta do something like that, right? You can't just mention it and not have it show up. Especially with how detailed the series has been, and how much attention they paid to even the background characters that we talked to, and the ever-changing dialogue and the stories of the NPCs, that a few of them we weren't able to follow because, yeah, not gonna lie, at some point I was like, I'm not gonna talk to every single person every single time we've done something new. And the fact that they get new dialogue is crazy in and of itself, but... I guess I just haven't played enough RPG games, or maybe Trails in the Sky really is just that special. That goes the extra mile to make the world feel so alive. Playing Fallout New Vegas sort of gives me the same feelings, but in a different way. It's not like Trails in the Sky, which is probably why we have the separation of RPG and JRPG. The series has many, many more protags we to love, don't worry. Good to know. Well, we'll have to get into their stories. And honestly, by the end of the series, we should make like a tier list for the characters. See who we enjoy the most out of everybody. That'll be an idea for a video like 10 years down the line, though. Some are better than others, but they're all, at the very least, very good. Do not look up figures for Trails, they're all spoilers, or even cover art, honestly. Yeah, no worries. I won't look up anything related to Trails. Except for maybe when I start Trails, the third game. I'll have to look up at least the cover photo for the third game, so that I can make a thumbnail. And that'll be pretty much it. Trails is definitely very unique, even among JRPGs. That's gonna be a big tier list? Hey, If we spend all of that time playing all the Trails games, I think we could spend a few more minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, getting all the characters together and talking about them. I see I'm too late. Well, welcome to the stream. But at the very least, I'm still streaming by the time you get here. Yeah, I didn't realize it was that short. I honestly thought it was going to be similar to the first game where we talked to everybody. Joshua will never be replaced in my heart. We'll have to see about the future games. You know, you might have some super fun characters in the cast. Even more beloved characters than Joshua and Estelle. But it's hard to forget that first experience. I imagine it sort of like picking a house in Fire Emblem Three Houses. And no matter what, you're sort of biased towards your first house. Because it was the one that you picked first. That's probably going to be the feeling I'll get by the time we get to the new cast of characters. No, watch the VOD, yeah. VOD will hopefully still be up. There was some lyrics, but I don't think it was copyrighted, hopefully. Golden Deer always best? Hey, fear the deer. I can respect that. I picked Black Eagles, but I think Golden Deer is really good. Especially the final map and the final theme song. Game was over after 50 minutes, basically. Yeah. Yeah. Dang. That's probably gonna happen at least like 2-3 more times while playing this. Because I'm trying to remain as blind as possible. Can't agree, I started with Trails and Estelle is still best Estelle, even after all the games. She is very unique for like a female lead in a video game. I can't really think of any other characters that are similar to Estelle. I suppose you could maybe say that somebody like Chie from Persona 4 Golden is somewhat similar, but honestly, Estelle knocks her archetype out of the park. Like, she goes much further beyond just being that cool tomboy friend that you have, you know? She rocks. And all the character development that she received over the series really cemented her as Estelle Bright. Like, how else can you describe her, but she's the daughter of Cassius. It all makes sense. Second main pro tag is my favorite. Estelle second. The second main pro tag. I'm assuming you're referring to the next series over, because third is gonna be Kevin, right? Estelle's a ray of sunshine. That might even be the reason why she's called Estelle Bright, unless if her name in Japanese is different. But I mean, thematically, Cassius Bright and Estelle Bright, their names sort of make sense for their character arcs. Well, Estelle. Cassius has kind of already gone through a shonen protagonist arc, and he's already that super OP. He's already become Hokage, he's already become the Wizard King and whatnot, so now it's just our journey. Next region, yeah, gotcha. Not a master martial artist, she's not a genius strategist, she's just a wonderful ray of sunshine, and that alone is what makes her a hero of her story. Yes, I think you put it best there, Tinkerlin. That's sort of my frustration with a lot of female leads in current day media, where instead of, well, when they want to make a strong female lead, they end up just making them boring, stereotypical, stoic, and downright just mean to everybody that they meet. Which Estelle is not. She's not that. I wouldn't even say that she's like very masculine. She's just herself. She can be funny, she can be vulnerable, she can be strong. We've seen a lot of different flavors of Estelle. A lot of different versions of her that have changed over the course of the series. Which is why it gives you that feeling of like, oh, I've seen this person grow. That's why I think of Estelle as like my daughter. Like, she's out there doing her best, trying to save the world in the way that she can, you know? Going after Chase's boy that she likes, and she actually got him. She got him, she won! She got the boy! And I couldn't be happier for her. It's only because of that realistic character writing. Which honestly, the writers for this series, I don't know what they're doing. Whatever they're taking, I sort of want it. I want to be able to write stories this good and this interconnected. I'm sure there's probably some plot holes here and there. Like, it would be impossible not to, right? Like, right? There's so many details that they've added into the games, there's gotta be something. But even then, even if you notice it, you can ignore it because everything else is just so good. Estelle is a tomboy, but still a girl. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to make a strong female lead by turning them into a man. That's not the point. Estelle is human rather than just an archetype. You could say that about almost every other character in the cast. Like, you can imagine them as being that stereotype of said archetype that they get introduced as, but as the story continues, you see so many more dimensions about their character. And then they become so much more complex, and then they become human. They're a living, breathing person who is just a bunch of pixels on your screen. But still, it feels real. And that's why you can get so invested in their stories. And that's why the emotional moments of the story hit so much. If it weren't for that, then it would just fall flat. Smugsdale just cannot be beat? Yup. A relationship that actually develops is so rare in media. They always put off that resolution to sell more sequels. Oh, man. Yeah. I'm talking to a bunch of you guys in the Discord. You probably know that I dislike rom-com because of that very reason. Because of all these misunderstandings that happen, and the fact that most rom-coms never resolve themselves. It's just another misunderstanding until, like, let's say the very last episode or second to last episode where the characters hold hands. If you're feeling a certain type of way about somebody, just tell them. If you have an issue with somebody, just tell them. Communication. And there were moments between Estelle and Joshua where obviously you could tell that there was tension and both of them sort of felt it, but they were both embarrassed to say anything, really. Well, for Joshua, it was a bit of a different circumstance considering his background and the fact that he didn't want to get Estelle involved in any of this, right? But even then, it wasn't like they were tiptoeing around it at all. And by the end of the first game, they already had their, like, first kiss or whatever. The feelings were there, and I never felt frustrated by their relationship and how it developed. It felt very natural, considering the circumstances, of course. A lot less plot holes than you might think. It's a series that has been very well planned, unlike a certain other long-running series. What do you mean, Tickerlin? Mickey his shirt got ripped off by all the shadows, okay? The Heartless just took off his shirt. I know that there's, like, so many other plot holes, too, when it comes to Kingdom Hearts, but that's, like, the funniest one ever. Bro, stop, you're making me cringe. I'm sorry. Rom-coms I like are those that go out of their way to not do that. Relationships need to feel organic. I hate those misunderstanding plot lines. Yeah. It's a trope that I guess a certain type of people at a certain time in their lives would enjoy. I feel like I kind of outgrown that. I've gone past that. Life is already too complicated. Why would you complicate it for yourself by not being truthful, not being honest with other people and properly communicating your feelings and ideas and stuff like that? But yeah. It's fun for the audience that likes that kind of stuff. To be fair, step-sibbing is a bit of an extra barrier. Not gonna lie, I almost forgot about that. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the games, there were people who played this game and felt sort of weirded out by that. You could point to the fact that there's a cultural difference between the West and the East, and how they would view that sort of thing. For them, you know, Estelle and Joshua aren't actually related. They were just... Well, it was literally a boy that Cassius found and brought back to be raised at his house, and they were sort of raised together. But, yeah. I wouldn't blame anybody who felt weirded out by it. I think it's cute, though. I love Kingdom Hearts to death, but holy shit, does its story go off the deep and hard sometimes? You can, for Kingdom Hearts, I think it's a matter of, if you play the games, you understand what's going on. If you watch a lore video about it, it's gonna seem ridiculous when you put it into perspective like that. And I think it's undeniable that even the Kingdom Hearts fans will acknowledge that the story goes a lot of places where it doesn't really need to. And there's a lot of plot holes that you kind of just have to ignore. But it can still be good, despite that, you know? The story doesn't necessarily have to always be 100% accurate for it to evoke an emotion from someone. Heck, there were even moments here where they may have been referencing something that I forgot, but just being immersed in the moment, with the characters being who they are, and the situation being as it is, it can still bring you along on that journey that the author intends for you. You just need to be honest and open like me. If only everybody was like you, Arthur. I'm sure the world will be a better place. They both remember meeting. It's not like they grew up together from birth. Yeah, true. People who have issues with this are just a bit closed-minded, but it's still a little hurdle for the characters to deal with. When it comes to a lot of these things, the cultural differences, there are certain Let's Plays of Persona 4 Golden where I'm really enjoying watching that person play it, and then when it gets to a particular moments in the story, and then they start going on and on and on about how this is wrong, and the authors should not have done this, and you know, they should be fined or jailed for doing such a thing, or cancelled on Twitter, God forbid. That's when you start to lose me. Because ultimately, media is meant to be... It's meant to be viewed, and it's meant to evoke emotion within you, and it's meant for you to critically think about it, as opposed to accepting it at face value, and just judging it based off of the cover. Unfortunately, you can't really ask that from everybody. It's not like everybody's gonna do some sort of deep character analysis of why this is happening to this person, and what they're trying to say with this reveal. But, you know, I wish they would, so that they could enjoy media more. They don't play with the trope, is what makes it fine in my eyes. It's not something they keep pointing out or emphasizing. Ah, yeah. Kanji? Yeah. I'm not gonna say more, because I don't want to spoil anything, but Kanji's a good example. Also, the camping trip is a lot of people's least favorite part, but they don't really understand what's going on. And I agree, Tinkerlin. I think a lot of anime actually fall into that category, which is why there's the whole meme of like, well, she's not related by blood. And then the show just keeps on saying that over and over and over again. It's like in Dead Space, where they keep telling you to cut off the limbs over and over and over again. Just let it be, and let the characters develop based off of the circumstances that you've introduced to them. how would people realistically react to this sort of situation? How would they grow from that? What sort of obstacles would they have to face? How would that affect their relationships? How would it take them apart? How would it pull them closer together? Just interesting things that authors have to think about. Writers have to think about. Thought-provoking media is getting rarer. It's hard to put that out in the world anymore without it being judged heavily or just straight up thrown into the trash. Anyone who calls for canceling instantly loses my viewership. I don't support the court of public opinion. Yeah. I feel the same way. I want to watch all the Persona 4 Golden Let's Plays here on YouTube, because I love that game to death, but, like, come on, man. Later, Lorenzo. Thanks for swinging by. You go full blood related? Damn, Arthur. Actually, I think there's a game that was popular among the streamers at some point where there was a relationship like that. People were calling it problematic. But I think a lot of people actually enjoy that game. I don't know. She's not related by blood, so you should cut off her limbs? Exactly. That's the moral of the story, pun. I love Kanji. I love how they explore his personality as a big dude who likes to knit. Nothing wrong with having hobbies. Exactly. Yeah. He's great. He's my favorite character. But, yeah. A lot of people don't like him for one reason or another. My only objection to P4 so far is some of the quiz questions. Honestly, fair. I don't think any P4 fan is gonna argue with you on that one. Oh, man. Persona 4 over P5? Yo, Tinklin, I didn't know you were also based. Honestly, I would say the same thing. P4 just, because of its story, it has so many more advantages over P5, despite P5's quality of life changes, and like how much better the dungeons are. I still prefer P4. Large publishers become more and more risk averse, which means that it's hard to publish challenging media. Yes. Yes, they do. It's the higher ups, the executives, the people who aren't really the ones making the story, that are making the decisions, that see it and are like, well, this is a risk that we don't need to take. We could simply just do a safe story. We could renew an existing IP by making another sequel, and that would be a much safer investment of our money. But that sort of thinking is what gets in front of creativity. On a smaller scale, it's like a YouTuber doing the exact same thing forever. Like, yeah, if something succeeds, then you probably want to copy that success over and over and over again so that you can make this your living, but you don't really grow from that. And I think you stop having fun by doing that. Not experimenting a little bit, you know? I tend not to compare Persona stories to each other. Fair enough, Wasabi. To be fair, P5 is speaking about different things, which is why there is different context behind it. But I just prefer the P4 context. P2 duology over P3, P4, P5 combined. Well, Steve is too based for me to even judge whether that's true or not. More budget but less optimization? Yeah, that's usually how it goes. But hey, every now and then you get something like Baldur's Gate 3. That was AAA budget, even though it was by a much smaller studio, but hey, it's a good game. P4 had much better exploration of the characters. P5 was more cinematic, but the party felt flat outside of those who have dungeons to explore. Yeah, exactly. But as I said, it's due to the nature of the mechanics that they introduce in that game that just makes P4 more impactful to me. Alright. Oh man, this is just gonna turn into a just yapping stream. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. There's so many plot points we could probably talk about, a ton that I've likely forgotten by now at this point. I'm just excited to see where this all leads, and by the point that we get there, just to have that memory in me jogged of like, oh, that was mentioned back in the first or the second game. I remember that. Hopefully that happens. And then I can just enjoy the moment and the extra context that it adds and the extra feelings that it gives me for the first and second game. I really enjoyed playing these games. I can't recommend them enough to anybody who is even remotely interested in playing a JRPG. These games are awesome, even though they're such a huge investment of time, but it's because of that time that you spent that it makes it so much more special. I hope I get the same experience from the future games as well. But from what I've heard, that seems to be the case. Looking forward to many more years of Trails in the Sky. When watching this playthrough, I spotted subtle foreshadowings that have blown my mind. Whenever I go back and watch somebody else play through, honestly, once I finish the games, I'll go back and watch Nico's playthrough. And I'll probably spot the same things that you likely did here. It's gonna be awesome. Alright, my dudes. That's gonna be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed and hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll catch you guys in Trails in the Sky 3rd. Bye-bye.